Item 14, discussing the necessary take action on pecan plantation EMS transfer contract. Michael, you got this.
So, Randall was not able to attend today. He's actually in a conference out of town. I was hoping George would be able to come speak to this a little bit. But I did talk to Randall. The existing contract between the hospital district and pecan plantation is for $15,000 for the first 6 months, and then it escalates to $25,000 for the last 6 months of the contract.
That's by month though, right? Monthly?
Monthly, yes. And what Pecan is asking is if we can go ahead and raise it to the 25,000 now, as opposed to, so we started that contract in February, so they're wanting to bump it up a little bit. What it would allow them to do, and they're wanting to do, is add a third truck to be able to, because that would put us, I mean, right now we would, or moving forward, we're supplementing Pecan or paying Pecan $300,000 a year to provide transfer services. In addition to that, there's about $200,000 in billing that they're receiving that's going outside our county to Pecan Plantation to cover transfer problems that we're having because of some of our counties unable to do our transfers. Pecan has had a little bit of trouble the last couple of weeks staffing a truck. Most of the time they're available, but at times they're not. I think they did have a paramedic get injured on a call, and so they were down one. But
Were we at a loss because of this, them being short on staff? Did we have to look elsewhere?
Oh,
Yeah.
And what?
we have continued to, there was an interlocal agreement between Pecan Plantation and Somervell County EMS, as you recall, was established. But the definition of emergent is still being questioned by Somervell County EMS, and we did have patients we tried to transfer that they're refusing because they deem them non-emergent. They have transferred a few. They haven't absolutely refused all of them, but they are still
Picking and
some-
choosing.
Exactly, at the discretion of a paramedic as opposed to the doctor's advice out of the ER. We have asked for another meeting with the county, so there will probably be something on the commissioner's agenda coming up, reestablishing the committee that was meeting before, because when they accepted the agreement with Pecan, they kind of dissolved that committee, so we are pushing for that committee to be reestablished and us to readdress some of these issues that we're still having with, I mean, Pecan's done a great job. They are top-notch paramedics. Most of them are critical care, or actually, I think they were critical care. So when they're available, they take very good care of our patients. It's just their ability to be able to cover both.
So who do we go to when our people refuse to do it? Because
I will say, in a lot of cases, we're forced to fly a patient and potentially leaving them with a care flight bill of $40,000+. If care flight deems it and decides to bill the patient, that might be, that's, care flight does have a provision that if transfer is not available, they will take the patient. In some cases, we have to act on that. It's a waste of resources because a lot of the patients we're transferring by ground are emergent. In a lot of cases, if not corrected, it will lead to death eventually, but at least in mine, an emergent care flight transfer is if you're imminently within the next couple of hours, if not quicker, then you need a helicopter. If it's 6 to 8 hours or a day, you might be able to, Dr. Bossett might be able to speak to a little bit there on that. At least that's always kind of been my, if not resolved within an hour or two, you might die.
right. And there's always a fight over criteria for putting somebody in a helicopter, and some of it is Monday morning quarterbacking on the backside, right? But I think that responsible use of air ambulances requires that you're talking about somebody with a high risk of imminent death. If you have appendicitis and you need a surgery and we can't provide that surgery, you're not in imminent danger of dying in the next 2 hours. If you have ruptured appendicitis with peritonitis and sepsis, you are. There's a difference in those two patients. You can't just say appendicitis is always or never, right? And that's the crux of the problem is Somervell County Fire Department is allowing people who have not evaluated the patient in any way, shape, or form to override physician decision. And we're still being stuck with it in the ER and having to find other ways to take care of patients, which is putting, the delay in care can be, the problem is hindsight is always 20/20, right? We get you up to the bigger hospital and you're fine, you know, oh, didn't need that, and okay, that's fine. If somebody doesn't make it because they're waiting on transport, and they go septic and hypotensive, and I mean, people die fast. It's not okay to delay those transfers if we can help it.
Can we
Bottom line is better safe than sorry.
Absolutely.
Is that a year-long contract?
That is a year-long
So
contract.
we're in for a year.
Well, it's a little less than a year now. February is when we signed the
It's a
contract.
contract though.
Yes.
We're gonna use it.
We can,
no matter what.
there's a 30-day out in the contract with the con. I mean, we can
Yeah.
at any point, but,
If the seas part and the sky changes color, there may be a chance over here. So if something happens on that off chance, then we have the ability to get out of the track.
But this is money that's never been, had to be budgeted or paid before, right?
no, I will say in next year's budget, we will have to increase taxpayer dollars to the county, to the citizens to cover this expense.
We didn't use to have.
Good to get
Do
that
the
out.
county, do the county citizens realize that $300,000 is going out?
It's actually about $500,000 because you're losing $200,000 in billing as well. You got $300,000 in payment, about $200,000 in the revenue that's generated from transfers. They're not doing transfers for free.
Right.
The cons get paid for them, Somerville will get paid for them. So,
Do you know Somerville's actually collecting, yeah, that was their story before, that they lost money, they said they just don't collect it. Has that changed?
I'm not sure.
So the county is actually losing about $500,000.
A year, yes.
Okay, can we call Hamilton for mutual aid if Somerville denies us?
If we are in an extreme situation, they might, if we beg and plead that they kind of got called out on operating outside their county at a loss. I mean, onesie twosies here or there, but not to the level that they were prior to without some sort of supplement. That's the same, that's why we're paying for con, the supplement to provide the service.